What's up, everybody? Well, today I am here to do another full house cleaning to test vacuum cleaning performance. This time it is on my Hoover Widepath with edge groomers. This is one of the latest revisions of the Hoover Breathe Easy, which this, along with the Caddy Vac, are the two more refined vacuums in the Elite platform for Hoover. I say that because this is when Hoover added features like the post-motor cleaning filter, which they only had on the Breathe Easies and the Caddy Vacs. Also, furthermore, the Breathe Easy style machines like this have the 15-inch wide cleaning path. And to change the belt on this, you just gotta remove these 4 screws and pop off the bottom plate to get access to your belt right over here. Very similar to what a Hoover wind tunnel would later use, which I find this way more easier to change a belt on than a conventional Elite. That you gotta take off half the bottom by those 2 latches, but then you also gotta pop off the top hood and then get your belt fish in, then loop it around the shaft, then put everything back. This is much easier to change the belt on, in my opinion. But I am interested in testing this for cleaning performance because this is one of the variants, let me see if I can show you, that has a 12 amp motor. I already did one a while back on my black Breathe Easy with the embedded dirt finder, but I wanted to do the same test on my Beast 12 amp Widepath, which is technically the same vacuum with a 12 amp motor. The brush roll that's in this is Hoover's blue bristle brush roll. If you can faintly tell, the color of the bristles are blue. The bristles are medium stiff. They're not as stiff as the white bristle brush rolls that Hoover originally had when they had the 7.3 amp motor. Hoover eventually went to this style brush roll on certain models because they were a little bit softer than the white bristles that were very stiff. You would pretty much vibrate your carpet like no tomorrow. So later later in the market when Hoover introduced the 12 amp motor on the Elite, I imagine they did the tests with the white bristle brush roll, and those literally turned into carpet shredders because the bristles were so stiff and the airflow was so high from the 12 amp motor that Hoover decided to rectify this by putting a softer bristle brush roll to keep most delicate carpets safe, which they eventually did. And the normal Elites with the 12-inch cleaning width, those 12 amp models would normally come with a green bristle brush roll. Depending on how high featured it was, it would either have the single row or dual row. But all these wide paths, came in the dual row brush roll. I don't think you could even get a wide path in single row, or a wind tunnel for that matter. But for whatever reason, the only brush roll they could put in was the blue bristle because I don't know why they couldn't develop a green bristle brush roll. At least the bristles are a little bit stiffer, so maybe that will differ slightly in cleaning performance. So enough of that rant you got out of me. Put in a fresh new generic HEPA Y bag, and there's not really much else to say about this other than let's get to full house cleaning. Unfortunately, because of the cord length, I had to plug into the middle of my bedroom just to get the entire vacuuming in one take. Another gripe I have, the cord material that Hoover used on these later style cords doesn't feel as good as the early models do, but they could just be because this cord is just a little stiff, from sitting in a closet for so many years. But it could just be me, but I feel like the cord feels a little bit cheaper. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, now let's do a quick analyze of the carpet lines. Leaves very beautiful lines. Part of that is attributed from the mildly stiff brush roll, but also the motor that produces so much airflow to the point that it is pretty hard to push this thing. And some of you who might be new to the Elite platform and have seen the 12 amp versions of these, the 12 amp motors to these Hoover Elites have a 20 blade fan impeller. You heard that right, 20 blade fan versus the 7 blade at the 7.3 amp. Hoover mostly did this because, I think it was because the extra RPMs that this 12 amp motor produces and runs at, they mostly did it to slow down air turbulence that renders performance. So because of that, Hoover made this pull so much air that it's hard to push. I don't know if the 7 blade fan can be retrofitted in a 12 amp. It might, but you'll probably have massive turbulence and not that much airflow and suction. But enough of my rant, let's go ahead and continue on. I don't have high hopes for this working down here for much long. Either the belt's gonna break or the carpet's gonna be destroyed, so we'll see what happens. And just like that, the full house cleaning is all complete. And from someone who's owned a lot of Elites over the years, I could definitely say these 12 amp models are super powerful. They produce so much air that you're pretty much just asking for a workout if you use one of these things. It all depends on what kind of carpet you have and all, but this thing for me on this medium shag carpet was pretty hard to push. But hopefully this thing pulls up some fantastic numbers. So with that said, let's go ahead and take off the bag and see what it picked up. Well, if you can see in here, some of it is mostly just fibrous material from the downstairs rug. But you can see there's a whole lot of pet hair in there. Lots of fine dust as well. So this is just fantastic. I do know the 12 amp models do produce much airflow, but I think in the end the performance of the brush roll also has another factor in how this thing performs. And what I like about the blue bristle brush rolls on these Elites, there are some for the conventional Elites as well that have a blue bristle brush roll. The bristles are stiff, but they're not super stiff like the white bristle ones are. However, I may eventually want to run some more tests on this thing with different brush rolls. Maybe I'll put the white bristle brush roll into this from the black Breathe Easy, and then I'll put this brush roll into the black Breathe Easy maybe one of these days, just to kind of compare the two in performance. And maybe, who knows, one of these days I might get a replacement non-self-propelled wind tunnel brush roll and put it in this thing and see how it goes. I do know they are interchangeable. In fact, I've actually seen one other YouTuber do this. I think his name was Cameron Snow, so shout out to Cameron. And if you're watching this, then hopefully one of these days I will have to run some tests on the CWP wind tunnel brush roll replacement. So with that said, I hope you've enjoyed this full house cleaning to test vacuum cleaning performance on the Hoover Widepath Breathe Easy. Be sure and stay tuned, and don't forget to like, rate, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.